edition of Dinner with the Devs with Schell Games. I am so excited for you all to join us. We're with some fantastic VR content creators that we work with, and they work with their own content and brands all over the world. So I'm super excited to talk with them, and we're super excited to also get your questions. So there is go there. There we go. I was wondering where that was coming from. Okay, so along with that, starting off great. And so along with that, if you have any of your questions, please make sure you put them in the live chat, or if you're following on Discord, make sure they put it in the Dinner with the Devs channel on Discord as well. So we are thrilled for you to join us. Again, Dwayne Waite Jr. here, marketing manager for Schell Games, and we have Adam Kuda or Kuda Kuma on Discord as our live chat moderator. So thank you, Adam, for your work and keeping us on track here. And one question that I like to ask, or for the group to think about right now, we'll get back to it at the end of the stream, but as streaming services and content creation tools improve, what tool or tools or what next thing in technology are our group, our panel is excited to either tackle, implement, or what they're looking forward to. So stay tuned to the end to hear their answers to that. But enough of me talking. Let's hear from our content creators. So let's start first with Steve Knows. Tell us a little about yourself.
Well, my name's Steve. My name's Stephen Knowles. So the channel name is Steve Knows. Not because I know everything, but because it's my name, which is a bit of a fun fact. I am a software engineer by day, and by night, a VR man. And so, yeah, I do virtual reality videos on YouTube, which is why we're here, I suppose, because you're Schell Games, you're a great studio, you do VR. So thank you, Dwayne.
Thank you, Steve. Okay, so Fox.
Yeah, so hi, my name is Fox. My channel name is Soul Fox Gaming. I am a full-time content creator. I focus on VR, gameplay, comedy. I'm pretty much just here to show off games and to hopefully make you laugh. Yeah.
He could dance too.
I can dance.
It's true.
Oh, snap. I wish I knew that before we started this. I would have planned something. All right, next up, Reese.
Hello, I am Reese the King. VR by daytime, King by nighttime. And yeah, I make VR content to entertain and keep people smiling. That's all I really care about. As long as everyone's smiling, we're winning.
Good stuff. And thank you all for... Hey, that was perfect, Reese. Thank you. And thank you all for joining. We're going to make sure that we get out all your information as well. And Austin really quick says, can a question be on any of the games that they've made? So maybe content of the games that they've made. I think that'd be fun. On content or question for the games that Schell Games has made. Maybe we'll try to for some of those questions and answers in as well. So let's dig a little bit into your histories. I know I'm your point person for all of our content creator stuff for the studio, so I know a little bit about what you guys do in terms of content, but even I don't know how'd you guys get there. So I'd love to start there. So Soul Fox, if you don't mind, kind of get us started on how you became a full-time content creator and what really propelled you to jump from a regular game. And earlier you were talking about how you did some Let's Plays, but how'd you make that jump to VR?
Yeah, so way back in the day, I had a good group of friends. We used to play a lot of Call of Duty, a lot of Grand Theft Auto, and I thought it'd just be fun to capture these funny moments we were having and kind of just save them as memories. So I made videos upon videos, and they never went anywhere, but I kept them just as, good mementos. After that, I started a League of Legends channel, loved that, dove into it for a year, and then got so burnt out because I was so focused on one particular thing. Started doing Let's Plays, and then after that, I just kind of quit YouTube for a while, didn't worry about it. I enjoyed life, had a good time, went off to college, and as I was in college, I was like, I'm going to start doing VR. And I I looked into it. I thought it was super cool. I thought it was great. You could actually like, have your hands in the game. You could look around. It captivated me. And by the time I was coming out of college, it just became like feasible. It became like an actual thing I could do. I could either go work in this field that I just went to college for, or I could do YouTube for a while. So I tried out YouTube, and thankfully it worked out. So I'm glad it did.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Good deal.
I'm
Thank you,
glad
man.
you did.
All right.
What's
Thank you,
a wild shout, Sol?
Steve, for speaking up. Europe, what's up?
Oh yeah,
How'd you
yeah.
get to where you are?
Well, I think I kind of have a common story for everyone. Really, is that I started my channel after I got into VR. So I played PlayStation VR. I bought it for Resident Evil because I'm like I love Resident Evil. That's like Resident Evil, Final Fantasy. They're my franchises I adore. So I got VR just to play that game, and I was blown away. But PSVR kind of annoyed me with the setup and where I was living. So it kind of VR kind of went in the attic and stayed there for a while. And it wasn't until after I graduated, I started my YouTube channel on Nintendo Switch in a hotel room, because I felt a bit lonely because no one was really into gaming like the way I was. So I started it to kind of just share my passion and just get involved with the community. And then when I heard the Quest was coming out, I thought this is a chance to try VR again because I loved it. And this is just to put the headset on and dive into VR and enjoy without the cumbersome, painful setup. And the first day I put that headset on, it was the fire was lit under my arse. My channel literally, as soon as I got it, changed that day straight into VR. And I found that community that I was looking for, and it was way, way better than I could have ever have hoped for. So big thank you from me. Cheers, guys.
Very cool. Very cool. Last but not least, Reese, how'd you get started? And how'd you go to VR?
So for me, I started out similar to Fox. I was making just Let's Plays. I was doing a lot of that stuff with friends, just for fun, really. Didn't really sort of really get anywhere with that stuff. It was just more about the fun. And then I tried VR for the first time. I bought my PSVR, same sort of thing. I just got super into it. Loved that. But again, the setup sort of thing got to me a little bit, so I was a little bit slow on it. Then I eventually just bought a Vive, and the day I bought the Vive, that was it for me. I was just sold. I changed over everything on the channel. I stopped playing anything flat on the channel, and it just fully changed over to VR, and that was it. I couldn't stop after that, man. And then the Quest came out, and that took over, and it was just, that's been just upward from there. Found my place where I wanted to be. And it's just, I wouldn't change it, man. I love it. VR's the one.
VR is the one.
It's the one, man. New t-shirt coming out next week.
Oh, cool. And in the live chat as well, there are a couple of other of our favorite content creators, so please interact with those characters as well. The nothing but great people. So how do you guys find the games that you play? And I'd like to start with Steve here. I know you said that you Resident Evil is one of your favorites, but whenever you jumped into VR, what type of games are some of your favorite to play?
Well, my favorite games in VR don't seem to be that common, and it's rather upsetting. What I find out to play is I look at the coming soon section of the store. I have a bot that monitors all these like news outlets that will ping me when they post. So I have a log of all the games that will be coming soon that have just come out. So if I find something there interesting, I'll play it. But where my real interest is for VR games is I love horror games that have an action aspect to it. So something that's really tense and scary, but I have like a gun or an axe, something that would allow me to overcome that fear. And too often in VR, which kind of saddens me, there's lots of horror, but not enough action horror. So Resident Evil 4 or Lies Beneath, that's where my heart is for VR. I love those games.
Very cool. Very cool. Reese, how do you find the games that you like, and what type of games do you like to play?
So for me, same sort of thing, really. Just keep your finger on the pulse, see what's coming out. Twitter's really my main feed for a lot of stuff, just seeing stuff as it comes up in the post, and it's just the best way for me to personally find it all. I need a bot though, I need to hook me up with that bot, Steve. But yeah, so I keep my finger on the pulse with a lot of that sort of stuff, just sort of keeping the loop with developers, follow everyone, sort of figure out what's coming out and when it's coming out. And for me, mainly my favorite stuff is just anything action packed. I like action, anything where you can really get involved in it and feel like the hero in the story. Like, that stuff's cool to me. Horror is a no-go for me though. That's the one thing I won't touch, because after Resident Evil, it just destroyed me, and I've never gone back. I'll occasionally do it if the community bullies me into it, but that's about it. No VR horror from me.
Oh man. And so Fox, you were nodding your head whenever Riz was talking about Twitter. Is that how you discover games as well? Is that one of your main channels? What else do you do?
Yeah, Twitter's a massive one. I always tell people, they ask, how do I get into like the VR space? And Twitter is the #1 place I recommend, because there's so many of us there, so many developers, and it's so easy just to reach out. They post a lot of stuff there. I either find it through that, or like they said, through the Steams, coming soon, or just a developer reaching out. So those are my 3 mains.
Cool. And then what type of games do you like to play?
Yeah, so either something social like Rec Room, or what else is there? Roguelites. I love roguelites, like Ancient Dungeon. Absolutely love that game. Same thing with Legendary Tales. I love it. I love being able to go into somewhere, open up a chest, get something greater than I had previously, build up my character. And then lastly, I love anything to do with puzzles. So like, I Expect You to Die, whenever I first played that, fell in love with it. It was like, if I couldn't beat a puzzle, I wasn't mad. I was more like enthused, like trying to figure out how to actually complete it. So absolutely love puzzle games.
Very cool. Good stuff.
That's a good shout out, dude. Puzzle games seem to get a bit of a bad rep. Like, you see them, you think, oh, I can't play that. But when they are fantastic more often than not.
Yeah.
The VR puts that twist on it that just makes it a little bit more interesting than that. Exactly. Yeah.
It gets even better whenever they actually add story to it as well. Because it's not just, you're not just trying to figure something out. It's like, okay, I figured it out. Now this extra piece of like this, this story just comes in. So it's nice.
Yeah, and we do, so the marketing team, we do some occasional let's plays, and one time we played Moss. Like, there was so much fanfare for Moss, and whenever we play, it's like, man, like the puzzles, like it's fun, the story, the character, there's nothing but good things about it. I haven't looking forward to getting the chance to play book 2, but that'll be a good time. So cool. So how, for everybody, so feel free to kick off. How much of your channel is made out of games that you discover, or versus games that your fans tell you to play? And then I'll add this other one, since we have a couple other content creators in the live chat. Games that you've seen other content creators play. It's like, oh, you know what? Like, I've seen Beardo play that. Let me give that a shot and see if I like it or not.
Yeah.
So I think for me, like, if I did what my audience want, I would only play about 5 games, and that would be it. So I try to like balance things out a little bit. Like, you get maybe 1 or 2 every fortnight that they demand that I play. And then the rest of it, I just try and keep it fresh. For me, to keep me sane, I have to try and just, get out there and venture into what's new. And also put myself in like games that I wouldn't necessarily pick to play myself. I find that that's sometimes a very good thing to do, because it kind of like expands on what you might enjoy and finding new stuff and stuff. So I would say that's it. But yeah, definitely don't just listen to what you're being told to play all the time.
Right. No, you gotta do what you enjoy still. Like mine, if I had it the way my community wanted, I would strictly be a Rec Room only channel. That's it. There would be nothing else. And I love that game. It's constantly growing. That's why I continuously go back to it. But I love being able to explore VR. Like, there's so much it has to offer, and there's games you will never even hear about that some people absolutely love.
Yeah.
But for me, it's discovering that 50%, either having developers reach out about it or just finding it, and then the other 50% is definitely Rec Room.
That's correct. Yeah. For myself, I end up finding myself actually going through side quest quite a lot, and just trawling through all the new content there that's probably in beta, alpha, or just being created, because I like seeing VR being used in interesting ways, and that's normally where you're going to find a lot of the experimental content. So I absolutely love looking at side quest. You find some interesting things there, some wacky, some weird, some probably not safe to show on the channel.
Yeah.
but VR, there's so much to do. So yeah, you definitely look outside of the official store if you're into that. But I often actually know. You mentioned Beardo. Beardo often he's so dedicated to VR. He's always showing games that I haven't even heard of, I didn't even know existed, or mods that didn't even know existed. So quite often, actually, I take his recommendations quite a lot when I watch him play. So shout out Beardo.
Yeah, funny story. We were showing Until You Fall at PAX West in 2019, and this big guy with a beard came over. He's like, "Oh, I'd love to play." It's like, "Oh, yeah, sure." And I had no idea it was Beardo. So either him, I don't think I was even there. I think I was walking around at the time, and one of the teammates gave me the Beardo's card. I was like, "Oh, he was here. Totally missed it." But I think I may have took videos. So maybe I was there, just totally oblivious of how
Find it.
So, it was great for Benja to come by.
Find it, please.
So yeah, that was a good time, and totally just took advantage of me just not paying attention, making sure that like the booth was perfect, like Jesse was there, and I was like, I gotta make sure this booth is great. So yeah, just totally messed up there. So I know Reese, you talked about that you would never do horror unless you were just totally goaded and like told to go in. For the others, are there any other genres that you just wouldn't touch? Like, I would play any game or any genre except blank.
Racing.
Racing.
Yeah,
actually racing for me as well.
I can't do racing. I've done it in the past. I've even done sponsored stuff for it because like I could handle it in small portions, but racing for some reason like activates my motion sickness the worst out of anything else in VR.
It's the only thing that gets me as well.
Yeah, I don't. It's bad.
After all this time, it's the only thing that gets me still as well. Like literally, after about half an hour of it, I'm just like, nope, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm going green.
Yeah, it does do that. Find yourself in the fetal position for about 30 minutes after you play.
Oh man,
even with our VR legs.
Yeah.
Oh god, horror is stressful as well. I find that you don't want to diving into a horror game. It's like elevated heart rate. You feel stressed out. I'm sweating. I'm knackered after I play that.
Yeah.
I actually like horror. I don't do it too often, but there's something really nice about a horror game inside of VR compared to a flat screen. Like the immersion, like you're safe, you're not gonna die, but that just fear of actually getting attacked in there, like your brain sometimes feels like it can't tell the difference. And
it's something just physically getting in your face as well.
And it's just like, all right. Like, you're strapped in, just trying to survive, and that fight or flight kind of kicks in at times.
Yeah. Or just don't load it for me. That's
just stay away from it. Full stop. Just stay away. I hate mini games. Anything that's anything like that, I stay away from.
Yeah.
Like say that one more time, Steve. I'm sorry.
Like mini games.
Okay.
Like party games for
so
VR.
like Loco Dojo, something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Not to throw them under a bus.
They're a fantastic game. I'm just curious. I'm just
stuff like that. It just doesn't do it for me in VR. Just doesn't scratch that itch.
No, I'm the same.
Yeah, that's fair.
And actually, I think I either skipped or didn't put it in. Like, so what attracted you guys to like VR? So like Reese, whenever you said you bought the Vive and that was it, like you just scrapped everything. What excited you so much about VR that like you just abandoned everything and that's all you were going to do for your content?
It was just like the immersion for me. It's like it was everything I ever wanted as a kid. Like I remember literally sitting there with my brother talking about what gaming was going to be when we were playing Sega, and like for us, we were always like, when you're in the game, when you're actually the character and you get to be that person in the game, and sort of like you know, it's like when you watch a movie as a kid as well. You come away from it and you want to run around and do the thing. But like when you're playing VR, it just gives you that, man. It gives you that full sense of immersion and fun and getting to just live out through things that you definitely can't do in real life. So it's sort of it just kind of ticks every box for me. And it was just one of those things that just like clicked. As soon as I did it, I was like, yeah, this is the one. And then I just irritated everyone around me by talking about it all the time and needed an outlet to to do it to people that wanted to listen instead of friends who were like, nah, dude, I'm not spending this much money on a PC and this and that. So, but yeah, it just took over.
So true, though, dude. You can't. It's hard to explain to people. They just need to put it on.
You have to
I just
try
had my
it.
stag, and my friend tried it, and he was sat there for about 30 minutes on the sofa, just staring into space like this, just saying, "Stephen, that was life changing." he just couldn't believe it. But as you said, it's like what you dreamt of as a kid. You're literally embodying something completely different, not of this world. It's so special.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Very cool. So let's get into a little bit about being a content creator. And yeah, I like this first one. So what's a surprising game or discovery that a community member showed you? So we're digging a little bit first into your community, then we're going to go more internally. But was there some type of surprising game or some type of not a hack but like shortcut or takeaway that a community member showed you that like, oh no, this is interesting, let me try this?
I'll go first, I guess. I got so the thing that interested me that I liked was something called the Quest Optimizer. It had a bit of drama with SideQuest, this app, around its permissions, but the app itself, it boosts it boosts the overhead, or it uses the additional overhead that's available when playing a game to improve kind of like the visuals or the performance of the title. And that was a great discovery, I think, for myself, because games that have tons of overhead, you get like much crisper visuals. You can get perhaps a higher frame rate that you wouldn't otherwise get because it's locked, because Oculus don't want the headset overheating. So but that for me, yeah, the Quest Optimizer. There is a video on the channel if you want to check it out.
I'm trying to think of a good example. I don't think I can think of one off the top of my head, to be honest.
Because Reese knows everything. He just found it all.
I'm the king, man. I mean, I'm the original source. That's what the issue is, dude. It's like
it goes with the name. That's true. Yeah.
Mine was not a shortcut or anything like that, but one that was a game that I think would have gone directly into my radar when I've seen it. My buddy Mateo reached out and told me about Legendary Tales, and I remember after actually getting into that, like the amount of time I spent in that, like not even recording, not doing anything, which is wild for me because if I'm playing a game, I'm usually recording, trying to stream, trying to do something for work. But I spent so much time just captivated and lost running through dungeons with him playing that game. I love it. Like it's a phenomenal game.
Yeah, that's Grumpy Duck reached out to me about that one.
Yeah?
Yeah. I didn't have the same experience you had, I think.
Oh no.
No, I didn't know. Was it me? It was me, Gamertag, Mateo, and Grumpy Duck, because Mateo was also hyping it, like you said, and so was Grumpy. But I think me and GT just had such a bad time with it. But those two just couldn't stop talking about it.
Yeah. I get that though. It had some issues in its earlier days, but it's doing a lot better now.
Yeah, maybe just dive in again. So I did buy it. So yeah, why not? All right, so I'll see you in there.
Sounds good.
I still haven't played it yet. I need to give it a go.
Oh, there you go. Reach buy it.
The King too.
And now you can talk about it as the game that you got recommended by someone.
There you go. That'll be my story.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. And actually, speaking of Mateo, like I've been talking with Mateo for maybe like a year or two now. We still haven't gotten a chance to work with him. But met him again. I think I met him at a PAX or a DreamHack. I don't remember which one. But want to continue keep that conversation going. So in terms of once you play a game and you're like you Soul Fox, you're creating content for it, or you're taking screenshots. Like what's everybody's process of developing content and getting it out there? Is it always just streaming and piecing it together for a later time? I know Steve, you talked a little bit about that, but before we went live, or is it a combination of live streams and then peppering social media with it? So what's everybody's process of getting your content ready?
So for me, I like a lot of firsthand experiences. Like the second I go into a game, that's like whenever I start recording. Sometimes I'll have just a little bit of information ahead of time, if I see a trailer or something like that. But I like going in and kind of really giving my genuine experience, my expressions towards it. And so I'll go in, I'll record. After it's all over, make the intro to kind of describe a little bit. That way I actually have a little bit more information on the game and not just saying, hey, I'm playing this game today. Don't know what it's about, but join me. It's fun. And after that, just like you said, kind of pepper it out. That is a good way to put it, because once it's out on YouTube, I'll post it to Twitter, you post it to Instagram, you get clips, you post it to TikTok. Like, you make sure it's out everywhere. That way, if somebody's on a certain platform, they're not on another, they can still have a chance to see it. So I just try to get it out as much as I can, as fast as I can.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much the same for me, really. I'm very much the same with get that first impressions is super important to me. I don't like to investigate too much because it kind of takes away a little bit of the surprise of everything that's happening in the game and stuff like that. But yeah, for me, I mean, I like to just, same really. Get everything recorded. I normally do like a big recording session on a Saturday, and then I'll get like the block of my recording done, and then just do a little bit here and there throughout the week. Get everything edited day to day. And then the same, just got to push it out and get to as many platforms as you can. For me, it's really just Twitter, because I don't really do TikTok and stuff like that, or Insta as much. But yeah, just get it out there as much as you can. Try and push it into as many eyes as you can, and watch this content, please.
Yep.
Yeah, please watch it. Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
Myself, I've actively been trying to avoid making content just for the sake of making content. I got to a point where I was just constantly trying to find something to make, just for the sake of getting a video out there. And it wasn't good for the mental state, being overworked. So now I'm just trying to enjoy it. So I'll do my news video on the weekend. If something interesting or a great game pops up, I'll try and film that during the week. And I kind of do what Soul Fox was talking about, where I will play the game a little bit, so I don't look like a complete tool when I'm trying to film, so I know what I'm doing at the very least. But then I'll play the game, and then I'll do my the intro about what the game was like after I've played it.
Right.
But yeah, I feel like I'm quite a lazy hard worker, if that makes any sense. I do the bare minimum of a lot. My method is just consistent, I suppose. I do a little bit of content creation pretty much every day, rather than spending an entire 5-6 hour block just to get a nice chunk of something done. Just for the sake of my mental health, because people don't talk about that. I know it's a bit of a U-turn, but the YouTube game on your head is it is brutal.
Stressful, dude.
Guys, if you're out there watching someone's video, just leave a nice comment. It makes such a difference.
It does.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. I think I saw a report that the average career span of a YouTuber is 25 months, which is pretty wild. Yeah, just a little over 2 years. And as I went through the number of creators that we work with, it was like, okay, like I can, I think that it skews a lot to like the newbies, right? Like the ones who are like, I'm a content creator, and then just pushes out like 100 videos in like a year, and then right, and then they didn't learn how to be a professional, right? Because there's ways to do that, and there's ways to work with brands to make that sustainable. And I think that I think it's just heavily skewed to the beginning. And I mean, I think naturally though, right? Like professionals, you kind of narrow out, and there's a thinner crowd that goes long term.
Yeah. The Pareto kicks in, the 80-20
Exactly.
rule for that. Yeah,
That's crazy to think about. 2 years or a little bit over 2 years, and then just done with it. And I could definitely see that because there's definitely been times where I feel like I've tried to get so much done. And I'm like, man, I don't have enough time to get it all done, and it burns you out.
Yeah.
I've thought about leaving so many times.
You gotta make sure it's something you want to do, and it's going to be something that's, I mean, it's good for you, and it's not going to damage your health overall.
Yeah.
So
just got to find a workflow that works best for you, man.
Right.
Like I've definitely been there with what you're saying, Steve, where you're just making stuff for the sake of making it and pushing yourself way too hard. And it's funny enough, I still make the same amount of videos I did at that point now, but now I'm just focused on like streamlining things so much better. Like say on a Saturday, I'll record a bunch of stuff so that I don't have to stress about that during the week. And then I can just pick it, editing as I go. And as I want to edit, I can edit and do stuff. I won't have to sit down and do a full video. Sometimes I can just do like an hour chunk of it.
Yeah, dude,
walk
it makes
away,
a difference.
get something different, you know, and it just kind of keeps your head clear.
Consistently is the way of life.
Yeah. And doing that, like the first couple of weeks of it was stressful because I was behind the whole time. But now I find like I'm just that day ahead of myself always, and I can just kind of approach it differently. And then at least if things go wrong, it's not so bad, you know. But it's
good for you, man, being ahead.
Yeah.
I've never been ahead. Exposing myself here. I'm behind always.
Yeah. Well, not on thumbnails, but editing. Thumbnails are normally right to the last 10 minutes, and I'm like redesigned it 3 times, and I still don't like it, and then I'll redesign it again after it's out. But yeah, it's definitely stressful, man. I don't think enough people talk about that side of things.
Yeah, especially if you're one of like not at the top, you're kind of like the mid-range where you got like a full-time job. Don't get that many views, but it's something you love to do still. They're the people they're the ones working their absolute asses off,
grinding for it.
Yeah, I've got mad respect for the VR community because there's lots of heads like that, and yet they're still positive with a good outlook.
Yeah. Well, if you enjoy it, you know, I think that's the key, right? And I think like that's what's left out of a lot of us in the community is people that are just passionate about it and want to be here doing it, and that's why we all make such a big effort to get all of the stuff done that we're doing. Never been ahead, no idea what that feels like. Yeah, same.
So based on that, and based off you know, how you guys make content and the switch to VR, like whenever I talk to different you know, marketing folks who are in charge of their content creator program, you know, they are all, you know, on one side, but you know, I'm working a lot with, you know, VR content creators, which is very, very different. And so we have 2 questions that are very similar from Agent Beanix from the I Expect You to Die Discord. Thank you, Beanix, from tuning in every month, and Snug Pig Gaming. I want to make sure I got that right. They both ask, what is the hardest or easiest part of creating VR content in comparison to non-VR or flat screen stuff?
Oh my gosh. I think we're all gonna have the same answer here, I feel.
Go on, I'm far away. I feel like
Yeah.
The capture tools for
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was just saying, is that thing that's behind you right now? Because yes,
ding, ding.
that is it. We all love the Quest 2. It's a fantastic tool, but trying to capture with that compared to capturing with PC VR is exceptionally harder.
Yeah.
It has to do with a lot of stuff, trying to get the right format, trying to get the right aspect ratio, trying to get it to sync up, and then trying to deal with crashes. It happens, and it is so upsetting whenever you record for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour, and you just had like this amazing time with this game. You loved every second of it, and you go to check your footage, and it's just the audio didn't record, file got corrupted, this happened, and you are so devastated. Like it takes time to get back into that game. You're like, I just put my heart into this.
It's soul destroying, dude. Yeah.
Like it's rough.
You're not just playing, are you? You're also trying to have that kind of entertaining edge to it as well.
And you can't do it twice, man. You can't do it twice. It's just never the same the second time round. Oh man, you can always tell.
That's different.
Yeah.
You want to keep it organic, and it wrecks you.
Yeah.
I think the best thing is getting to experience new games, because at heart we're all just gamers. Like that's what we do. That's what we enjoy. Even if I wasn't doing this as a job, I would still be playing video games. And so being able to go out and experience new worlds and all the stuff that all these developers create and like seeing their creativity, you know, all this just beautiful stuff they make, it's fun. At the end of the day, it's fun to be able to go into something new and have a good time. So definitely the best part for me.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
Wait, were we talking about best part as well?
Yeah, best and worst. Yeah.
I thought the question was negative, and so would be.
No, back and forth.
Yeah. Best and worst, or hardest and easiest.
I think the best thing about VR content creation for me is by far the community and the creators. I don't know. Because everyone that's in the community will say the same thing. I think it's like a family. It's like a club. Everyone's so kind and love. There are no words for it. They're just incredible content creators and the people that play the games and watch our channels as well, and the devs, obviously. Sorry.
Okay.
It's okay. Pretty nice.
Feel free to leave me out. It's fine.
When you make it possible, right?
Yeah.
Gosh.
No, I gotta kind of piggyback off that. Like Steve said, it's such a close knit community, and these people, like, you don't think you're ever gonna meet them. Like, they're across the world. However, you're good friends with them. And I can honestly say, whenever we finally met up, we had like this big, meet up in California. There was zero awkwardness. And it's so funny because, like, whenever you think of a bunch of gamers getting together, it's going to be super awkward. People aren't going to know what to say. Like, we're all just kind of, walking with our arms kind of close to us. No, it was brilliant. And none of us kept quiet for those 2 or 3 days that we were out there. Everyone was constantly talking about the stuff they were passionate about. And it was all in VR. So it was a really nice experience.
Do you think that's because of the physicality of VR, like the feeling of presence when you're in VR together? Because like I feel like we play so many games where we feel like we are together hanging out, right? Like,
yeah,
that's interesting.
That's actually one of my selling points. I tell to people whenever they're asking why should I try VR, I'm like, you've never experienced a game where you actually physically get to see somebody's body language. They're stationary, they have emotions, but like whenever you play VR, you see their hand movement, their head movement, everything, and it's so different. Like, you have a lot of people who are very toxic in other games, but I mean, it does happen in VR too, but it's so different walking up to somebody and then like really thinking about what you're going to say. They're not going to be rude 9 times out of 10. They're going to be calm because they see another human, like they see them moving. It's just it's very, very different.
Yeah. The guy's waving, somewhere out there in the world, some guys in his room like waving. Brilliant.
Good stuff. Oh, that's fun. So speaking of that, so not just meeting different content creators, but also working with brands. And before we get started, I just want to let you know I didn't pay them to say anything nice to us or mean to Schell Games for that matter. So they don't have to
taken it anyway.
Oh, okay. But so what's one thing that good brands do with you guys, and what's one thing that you wish that other brands or working with brands could improve? Because it's still for full-time streamers, right, or full-time creators, it's still, thankfully, it's not wild west anymore. Like there are prices are stabilizing. People are finally figuring out that paying creators is a good thing. Like paying creators can be a lifestyle and a profession. Right. Just talking to people that content creators can do more than commission. How about we pay them so they can like pay rent and stuff, right? Yeah. So what's one thing that brands can continue to do that do good stuff, and what are some improvements that other companies can do?
Okay, and after we answer this, we want you to tell us what we can do as creators, because too often we get asked this question and I know for a fact that I could do much better. So you have to answer the reverse question after, Dwayne.
Sure,
thinking.
Sounds good.
Okay. Yeah. I think the first thing out the gate, I think everyone's going to agree as well, is don't give us a game you want us to play the day before its release. That's a classic.
Time. We need time.
Yeah, exactly. That's a classic.
It doesn't take 5 minutes. The amount of times I get that as well, that email, and it's like, hey, this is out at 5 o'clock today. Any chance you can get a video ready? And I'm like, dude.
No way, especially we're in the UK, right? They're often American. They've sent it to us at like 11 p.m. We're like,
what do you want me to do? I can't do anything. Yeah. Communication is key, man, when it comes to anything, I think, with with all of these things. Just the communication is super duper important. Give us time, communicate, and that helps a lot.
Completely agree. I think the way you put it, seeing it as this is our job, like it's weird to say that I play video games for a job, but like this is what I do. This is how I pay my bills. And so, approaching companies and asking, is this going to be a paid opportunity? Is it not? Which, I mean, even if it's not, there's still chances I'm going to play that game because I actually thoroughly enjoy the game and I want to showcase it. Yeah. That's why I have my channel, is to help grow VR. It's not just, monetary value. It's that's my mission, is to grow. And so, having them to have the respect where it's like, if you have the budget for it, you want to help us out, that is great. That's fantastic. I appreciate you being upfront about that. And most of the companies are. They're really upfront. They're like, hey, we have a budget for this. We want to help you out. This is what we got. Do you want to work with us? Absolutely. And it's super simple. I love how simplistic almost every single like business meeting deal goes in VR. It's so smooth. And yeah, that helps out a lot. And like they said, having the game prior to release, give us a week at least, and we can get a good, decent video together. That way, the second it launches, we're there to help promote it. Like, we want your game to be as good as possible to get out there in the spotlight. Let us help. So
yeah, I think a good number of developers don't quite grasp that yet, that us getting our video out the same time as it releases is what helps promote the game. Because I've had that a few times with developers now, where they kind of argue with me, like almost not understanding that we're here to help promote. We're here to put eyes on that game and show people how fun it is, or what's behind the game. So, it's just as important for us to do that as it is an advert going out at the end of the day.
Yeah. I think Beardo actually makes a really good point in the comments too. He was talking about having an embargo a few days ahead of the game's release. And I completely agree with that. If it's a game that's not heavily focused on, a good one to say is puzzles. Like, say I Expect to Die. You don't want to spoil every single thing, because to progress in that story, it's not just walking through it, playing the game. It's like you have to really think in order to progress. And so something like that, I would say wait. But with a lot of other games, having a launch day, or not launch day, excuse me, having a embargo date a few days ahead, that way we can showcase it ahead of time, can help.
Yeah. Anything that's play it your way sort of type game, exactly. Yeah. Right. Something story based, then right. Unless it's a review-based thing, then definitely, it should just get that little bit of time ahead. Gets people excited, right? Like, there's nothing more hype than seeing something and being like, dude, I'm now going to have to pick this up in 3 days or whatever, And it tends to be the reaction from people in the comments, at least, is it just spreads the hype for something,
Hype.
I
also like media kits. I don't get them enough, oddly.
Yes.
That upsets me. I don't know why I don't get that. Like B-roll PNG files of artwork.
Yeah,
they help with thumbnails. We don't get them enough.
Press kits like super duper helpful, man. Yeah,
they're good.
Makes a huge difference, especially for new games, because there's nothing on the internet other than trailer clips to be able to pull stuff from if you want something really high definition to put in a thumbnail.
Yeah, I think that's more common among like the smaller games, like the indie devs. And but yeah, no, it's super important to get that out, because whenever you're making a thumbnail, you want something that showcases a little bit of the gameplay. You want people to actually see this and like, okay, this is interesting. Let me click on this. But then there's just nothing. And then trying to get like a screenshot in the game, it works out sometimes. But like if it's a game that's primarily dark, you're playing in the shadows. It's like, what in the world am I looking at here? I can't showcase anything. And so like you have to make up your own thumbnail to go with this, because there's just nothing there. And it's like, man, y'all gotta just send me something. I want to help out.
It makes it just look that much crisper and nicer. Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Adding also tips and tricks to the game, perhaps Easter eggs that are in there, or things that would help people play, because obviously we talk about the game at the start, and during. So that's also helpful. A lot of the time, just get an email saying that my game is coming out next week. Here's the key. Have fun. Do what you want with it, and that's the end of it.
No information on comfort options or this or that. Anything that would actually help push the game even further to newer people as well. Like that sort of stuff.
Create a PDF and just attach to the email to everyone.
So I will say there's been one time that I was playing a game, and it was to the point where I had other creators that were playing the same game that were reaching out. They're like, how do we get past this level? Like, I don't know what we're doing. And so like you'll wait till somebody else will figure it out. And they're like, okay, I got it. Send this to him. Okay, now we got it. Like it was so funny because nobody knew how to progress in this game.
So jokes. That's the developer bubble. They played it and were like, we got through it fine, no problem.
Yeah.
Didn't expect anyone to
And we
fall
sit there
over.
for 3 hours pulling our hair out, and we're like, hell.
Oh, that's funny. Well, cool. Well, thank you guys, and energetic Ruth, thank you for hanging out with us. We appreciate it. Oh, before you leave, you did have a question. You asked, how often do smaller creators ask for advice from you guys? If you can, I know you said your phone was on 9%. If you could just wait for a little bit. So, how often do smaller creators ask you guys for advice, and what
Fairly
type of
often.
advice do you often give?
I'd say fairly often I get people reach out in the DMs or something asking about how to capture things or what the best settings are to capture stuff or what type of microphone I use, things like that. And yeah, I'm always happy to help with stuff like that. It's just nice to be able to pass down the stuff that you've learned over the years of doing it. So
Yeah.
Frequent. Never fear asking someone like advice. That you should always feel free to ask that stuff. Yeah.
But if you're going to be a content creator, do it because you love the industry, not because you want the clout. Because you'll be there for 25 months max.
I'm going to be the next PewDiePie. And then, don't do it because you want to make money. Do it because you want to do it. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. None of us are here because we because we wanted to be. No, we're here because we loved VR, and this is just a byproduct of that.
Exactly. That's what led to this point. Exactly.
Good stuff. And that's a great segue. It's like you guys read my notes. Like, you guys are fantastic. Yeah, really. So yeah, I kind of want to segue to streaming VR and just the rise of new technology. So not just enjoying playing the game, not just streaming the game, but how it is consumed by your audiences. So have you guys dabbled into new technology for streaming and content creation without giving away any trade secrets? If you guys want to keep it hidden, is there anything that you guys have had that piqued your interest or you have entertained that hasn't been really done so far in VR streaming or streaming VR?
I say one thing I haven't done a lot, and I would love to actually see more games kind of take on this role, is whenever your viewers can actually interact with the game. There's a game called, I think it's Rico's Fragments. It's a horror game, and your audience that is watching can join in on the game on their phones and actually mess with you and get you caught by the thing that's trying to attack you. It's like they're quite literally against you, trying to mess you up. And I had a blast with that. I thought it was great. I thought it was so cool that they could join in and play in a way while they're still watching. There's not too many games out there that do stuff like that, so I would love to see more of that.
Yeah, interactive stuff, super cool. Yeah.
I think Rogue Ascent on Quest also did that because they got built-in Twitch integration into their game, so you can stream Twitch directly from within the game, which that in itself is blimmin' epic.
Yeah.
But the same as you said, if people were donating coins or something, it would affect the person playing the game during the stream.
Wow.
Really cool. You guys just jumped into one of my favorite topics. So at the end of that, I totally agree with you guys. Oh yeah, I love you guys. This is why you guys are so great. I think that the future of streaming is that interactive content. I know Genvid Technologies calls it MILE, which is a massive interactive live events. And so I do think that it includes ways for fans to directly be involved in or with gameplay from streamers. And there's another one called Edge, which does playables. So, for example, Soul Fox, if you did a crazy solve with Expects You Die 2, or Riz, like you just did a crazy run through until you fall, and you want people to not just watch it but enjoy how you did it. Edge has these playables. I don't know if they do it for VR yet, but that they capture the scene and the style, and you can actually send it out for other people to play it, which would be pretty wild. So like if you had an axe and a sword at 10 for until you fall, instead of them grinding and going to, there's this little snackable content that they could download on their Quest and play. It's like that's freaking
Wow.
brilliant.
Yeah, that's
Right.
pretty interesting.
That is.
That sounds pretty sick, dude.
Yeah,
I'd like-
I like the idea of Miles, but
what's up?
what Mile? Genvid, I think you said it was.
Oh,
Isn't that-
yeah,
that's
with
live
the massive
streaming only,
interactive
though,
live
isn't it?
events. Yeah,
I'm still interested to see that type of content being possible on post-recorded content,
yes,
not just live stream. Especially with the spectator camera, that someone can go in,
right.
just like you did in a video game when you died. You can then look around running the map and see what's going on. The same thing to happen to someone watching our content. That would be pretty sweet.
That would
Yeah.
be cool.
That
Yeah.
would- Yes.
That'd be great to make like challenges after your video. Be like, I beat this level. You can do it too with my exact same setup. See if you can beat my time. Go back in, try it, and then send it out to your community. That'd be really awesome.
Yeah, for
dude.
Ed.
We need to get on that.
Yeah, I mean, and well, yeah, my follow up was, do you guys see that affecting your content or streams, if at all? I mean, we're already talking about. Like, I think
yeah,
that kind of stuff would be absolutely amazing.
We're still
would be,
waiting for VR filmed content. We're a bit miles away. You know, where we can screen capture in VR, then someone
Yeah.
could put on
Watch
their own
it back in
headset and
VR.
experience us playing.
Right.
Whoa.
I still want that.
That'd be really cool, dude. Yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
it
I
sounds so
like
simple as well, doesn't it? All it would
It's-
be.
it seems
would be
obvious.
Screen capture, yeah.
that. Yeah.
But we only just got bloody stabilization from Meta, so that's
That's-
probably a long way off.
Still not great. Yeah.
We're a ways away. We're getting there.
Dude, if you remember, actually, can we talk about that? Can we talk about that meeting we had with them about screen capture?
I don't know. I'm gonna say no because I don't know the answer.
Yeah, I don't want to risk
Yeah.
it.
I was going to say walk away from
Long
that. Yeah.
story short, they got rinsed. It was hilarious.
Yeah, but probably steer away
Okay,
from
let's
that.
not
but-
get in trouble.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
Wait, just real quick, Steve. Were you talking about like the in-person thing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, we don't. No.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Mark,
Good
We
stuff.
had your back, community, basically.
pretty much, yeah.
Oh man. So speaking of, so not just looking at different, or how you create content, but how you share it. I know a couple of you. I know Soul Fox and Steve. Did you jump into TikTok? Have you guys been looking into other ways to share based
I'm on
off
TikTok.
different social media channels or other niche communities? Have you guys built Discords? Like, how do you guys see the expansion of social media and like building communities, mostly around your content?
Oh, our content. I was hoping you'd say around the metaverse. Because that
Or
made sense
metaverse.
in my head. Our social
whatever you
media
like
could
to
have
build
been
a
bad
community.
around the metaverse. Then I was like, oh, yeah, I can see that happening. But my content, golly, I don't know. Because as I said, I'm a lazy hard worker. So
Yeah.
I would probably just carry on doing what I'm doing. But I'm on all the socials anyway, like Instagram, TikTok, Discord, YouTube.
Yeah.
I just struggle with time for it all, man. Like getting
That's it,
time
right,
to do
dude.
TikTok shorts, then you've got Instagram stuff, then you got like Twitter videos going out, and it's just like
There's no time.
Yeah.
We got probably
Yeah.
like 3 hours in the evening after we've done dinner, chores, in from work. Is no. I'm
No.
cuddling with the missus and watching Netflix.
so. Yeah, my focus solely goes really into Twitter and YouTube really. And then Discord is the only other thing that I mess around with a bit. It's nice to have a community on there, chat with people, just to feel involved with the community. It gives a good chance for them to ask the questions and feel a bit more of a part of it with you. So
Maybe
I was
one
gonna
day
say-
we'll have our own meta universe for us. Like I could have Steve World.
I'm visiting without a doubt.
Yeah, I'd visit Soul World. I'd
And
ascend reality and
Man. So I was gonna say, like, even I do this full time, and I still struggle to keep up with all the social media because, like, you try to get it out everywhere, and different things require different, formats. And so, like, you have, your YouTube video, but you can't just export your YouTube video to TikTok. You have to go and snip it down, get the right format, make sure it looks good, make sure it's enjoyable to watch. You have to do the same thing for Instagram. You have your post over there. You have stuff for Twitter. You don't want to upload, massive stuff to Twitter. You just kind of want to like have, an announcement. I made a new video.
Yeah.
It's just there's a lot, and the same thing with Discord. I have a great community, but it's just there's a lot of social media trying to keep up with everything out there.
Yeah, and they will have such, like say, different wants. Like you really
Right.
have to get those niche moments for each thing. Yeah. Tough stuff, man.
Look at us. Woe is me. We're like,
Right.
we're so popular. We got them on our socials.
I mean, that's why I push back with other brands who they just want to either give keys or just give the products. Like, no, like this is an entire operation, and if there's not, if you can't build out a budget to compensate these folks while having them part of your core strategy, like I think that I hope that philosophy is quickly dying out, right? Because it's not sustainable, and it goes to that 25-month tenure that we've talked about at some time. So
it's a lot of effort because we've all spent years like kind of building our community, having those interactions, building upon those platforms, and I don't know what I'm trying to get at. It's a lot of hard work, right? Just to get to
people
the point
don't see behind the curtain, so dude.
Yeah,
like,
that's what
the
I mean.
thing.
Yeah. So
everyone sees an
building
8
up
to
the
10 minute
mindset.
slot of you doing stuff a day, and it looks clean and easy because it's a nice edited video and stuff. But I don't think people ever realize the stress or the time or the effort or research even that goes into making a video. Sometimes that is the part that just gets super overlooked. I've had so many people say to me over the years, like, oh, it's only like an hour or two, right? And then so that's like family members that will say that to me, and I'm like, dude, that's just to record the thing, and then then you've got like hours upon hours of editing, thumbnail work, getting it uploaded, making sure everything's right. There's just so much time that goes into one of these things.
And that's the best case scenario time that you're putting out there for a film.
If nothing goes wrong as well. And as we all know, there's like
already set
a
up.
frequent issue.
The game's
No, it's my whole thing, and like where I realize people really don't know how much goes into this is talking to new people. Like, what do you do for work? And I'm like, I work on YouTube. They're like, that's a job. I'm like, yes, there's a lot into it, man. Like it takes a long time. Like you go to work for your 8 hours. I'm recording stuff. It might not be 8 hours a day, but I'm still working, multiple hours trying to get stuff together. That way it can go out for later dates. And like it's a real job.
You do admin as well, dude. It's not you're not just playing games the whole time.
Yeah, even when you're not editing or doing a thumbnail or anything else, you're still replying to people, making sure that everything's going all right. Worrying probably at some point as well. So it's hard.
And like keeping your finger on the pulse, like Fun with Flicks just said. That in itself, that's another like hour you've got to spend in the day. It adds up. Oh, it's crazy, but I love it. I'm like addicted to it. It's really strange.
I love it.
Like it's so much work, but I can't do anything else.
Right.
Dude, I've tried, man. A couple of weeks ago, I think I even said to you about it, Steve. I was trying to take a few days off, just like for the first time ever.
I think I remember you saying,
it was weird. I couldn't do it, man. I was just still sat in the office, like looking at the screen, just like, what do I do then? Like, what do I do?
This is relaxing.
Yeah, this is relaxing. I tried to draw. I was like, no, I'm not feeling it. Tried to build Lego. Even Lego wouldn't keep me satisfied. I was just like, dude, I have to make something. It's like creative itch, dude. I have to do it.
Oh, that's fun. Before we get to our closing question, we have one from Hudson. We didn't get a concrete answer from you guys, so if you want to maybe do an average, how many takes does it normally take to piece together a full video? So maybe a full review or whatever full video is your typical piece of content, right? So from getting a scene that you like, editing, posting, promoting, and all that stuff. What's that whole process take?
What an average to all of that sort of thing? How many hours it takes?
Yeah, an average.
How long does it take to put a video?
Oh God, hang on, let me think.
Good question.
Well,
definitely depends.
If it's a news video, I get up at 8 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, and I'm usually done around 4-5 o'clock, and I work like full on non-stop, like focused to get it done, so I can then go out in the evening on a Saturday with Miss to do something. So what's that? That's a full day. That's like 7-8 hours
Yeah.
Solid work just for a simple 10-minute video.
I think it's probably about the average I spend on most videos. Yeah, like it goes a lot over that depending on the game. If there's a lot of editing to be done, it can go into like maybe about 5-6 hours to edit a video.
Gameplay I have a different.
So
process.
And then you've got however long it takes to record that. Sometimes you can record for a good hour minimum, and you'll get like an 8-minute video of what you want out of that thing. So it's tough, man. Like it wildly varies on depending on what the content you're making. But I'd say average, probably 8 to 10 hours.
So mine is definitely different for gameplay. I record for probably about 45 minutes to an hour. If I go directly to it, my issue is I want to go do other things right afterwards. I'm like, hey, let's go record this game as well. But if I can actually focus on one project, I can probably edit it in normally an hour and a half to 2 hours. Just depends. And then my worst thing is taking time for the thumbnails. I am terrible at thumbnails. Even to this day, I just can't ever be happy with them. But overall, I'd say a video that's going to be 12 minutes long takes me around 3.5 to 4 hours.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that from basically what you're saying.
Yep.
Yeah, it's probably like an hour bloody admin, which is like description, tags, title.
Yeah.
Takes me ages. A couple of hours edit for the gameplay. Yeah, that's about the same for me. If I'm doing gameplay video, 4 or 5 hours. Same.
Good stuff. Well, thank you all for all the questions. We have our final question. As streaming services and content creation tools improve, what tools or next thing in technology are you looking forward to? So let's start with Reese. Put people on the spot for this one.
So better tools, better recording tools, always. Just that's all I really want out of VR. Just give me better recording tools. Like seeing that stuff from PlayStation VR 2 the other day, showing that we're going to actually get good recording tools.
Yes.
Hell yes.
I was so hyped when I saw that, dude.
Yeah, it just makes sense, dude. I called this. I said it ages ago. Me and Nathan were talking about it. I was just like, I know that they're going to get it right. Out of everyone who could get it right, it'll be them, because they know that people want to be able to do that. It's such a big part of it, dude. So yeah, better recording tools. That's all I want. Anything that makes it easier.
Yeah.
All right, so Fox.
I honestly gotta agree. Capturing easier and making it look better too.
Yeah, crisp it
up. PSVR had that whole like fisheye for a while, which I was very confused about. But just making it easy. Like PCVR right now it's the easiest to record. You're still gonna have issues. It still doesn't look the absolute best all the time. I love when games have stabilization already built in, because some people, whenever they play VR, like you forget that, or they forget that like their neck and their head is the camera, and so they're whipping around, all kind of crazy. It's like you gotta kind of hold it still so people can see what's happening.
You have to train yourself for that though, right? Because I was like a bobblehead when I first started.
Right. No, I've got this point,
like you get like.
People ask me if I ever like get caught up, tangled up in my cord or anything. I'm like, no. I'm like, I train myself to make sure I'm looking at the camera and I'm facing one way nearly the whole entire time. Like I'll, move, but my legs pretty much stay still. That way I'm not getting too off target. Yeah. But just making it look better. Like Liv has done a great job of that, and they implemented. I think it's their first person camera that they just came out with probably a few months ago, and they're trying to get that out for a lot of different games, and that helps out immensely. But I feel like that should be just the default for a lot of games. Like if you want your games to look good for people that record it, that way they can showcase it, give them the tools to make it look good. Because if not, you're going to get a shaky mess, and people do not want to watch that. They don't. No. It's hard to watch.
Yes,
Just make it easier, and stabilization. That's what I asked for.
Yeah.
And Steve.
Oh, for me, what was I wanting? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know. I wanted a spectator camera for capturing. You just never see it. It drives you mental. So
that's because we're so used to Quest now, dude. They don't put any tools in like that for Quest games,
It's true.
What would be cool as well? You can have like multiple anchor points whilst you're playing.
That'd be so good. Fixed like just behind your shoulder or something.
Yeah, that would be amazing. If you're playing like a multiplayer shooter, and you walk around a corner and you've set up a camera there, or switch to it, stuff like that. Just stuff that's not like that crazy of an idea that I'm sure someone could easily implement, but it would make such a great difference. But just stabilization and
Options.
Camera anchors.
Yeah.
Easily implemented is a very strong phrase that
I did go.
my engineering team hates.
the hand.
Whatever we say.
Yeah.
You guys can totally do this, right? Yeah, it's like Dwayne, leave the meeting. All right,
I'll spin it real quick. Next update, right?
that's right. Well, cool guys. Steve, Reese, Soul Fox, thank you guys so much for joining. Our live viewers, thank you for tuning in. For those who watch it after the live stream, thank you for clicking on the channel and watching the video. We thank you so much for that. We do have some things coming up, some future events. We are going to be at Gamescom. So that's exciting. We'll also be at PAX West. We have 2 different teams going out for that. And we are closing the year strong. We have some other upcoming events that we will, events and activities that we will announce at a later date. So that is super exciting. In terms of sales, keep checking our social media channels and make sure you check out our website, our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Enable your notifications whenever different videos and announcements pop up for that. And next month, because we're going to Gamescom, our dinner with the devs is going to be a week or 2 early, 2 weeks early. August 17th, we're going to be talking about playtesting 101. How do you playtest? Why you playtest? What you get out of a playtest? How you ask questions? How you make sure that you don't ask biased questions? How you stay neutral? And how you can get the best out of the playtesting experience. So tune in for that next month, August 17th, Playtesting 101. Thank you for joining the stream. Steve, Soulfox, Reese, just stay on whenever I end the stream. But everybody else, you have a good night.